Hi, in this video I'm going to be doing a get ready with me, but a story time one, a chitty chat one, but it's quite a serious chat. It's all about my struggle with acne over the last 31 years, and I've got polycystic ovary syndrome, so I talk a little bit about that, how it affects me, how it affects my mental health, how it affects me now as opposed to when I was a teenager, and also what I'm doing to help and what medication I'm on and things like that. So if you're interested to hear my story and to see how I created this makeup look, then carry on watching. So I've just added all my skincare that I normally put. I'll just show you what I use. And this is a Niod Sod Spray. It's superoxide dismutase mist, and that's what I use first. Then I go in with the Ordinary, and this is the hyaluronic acid with 2% B5, and that's that. Then I started using this new serum. It's Sun-Kissed, and it's vitamin C serum. So I use that as well, but it turns my palms yellow, so I've got to wash my hands straight away afterwards. It does leave my skin feeling a little bit dry, so I find going in with these two leaves my skin looking gorgeous. And I've got Clinique Moisture Surge Moisturizer, and I got Lancer, and it's Omega Hydrating Oil that I got in a recent Look Fantastic, and I got this in a recent ASOS box as well. I do have a bigger version, but I am using this up at the moment. These two together are amazing. Absolutely amazing. I love it. It leaves my skin feeling so soft and glowy and youthful. And it makes my makeup just go on perfectly, and it does give like a glowy finish to my skin. I think I've noticed over the last month or so since I've been using this that my skin does seem to look a lot better. The next item is an SPF, and it depends, I use quite a lot, but at the moment I keep on grabbing for this one, and it's a primer it is, but it contains SPF 30, Urban Decay, Urban Defense. There's only a little bit left, so I need to get some more. And then I started using this a couple of days as well, which I love. It's called Touch in Sol, and it's No Problem Primer. Just got this little sample in a recent ASOS box, and it's really lovely. So I just apply that to my pores, around my nose and across my bridge there, and a little bit on my chin and up here as well. So that's my skincare done. So my face is all ready to apply makeup. So yeah, so the first item then, so the first makeup item is foundation, and I'm using L'Oreal Paris and this Infallible Pro Glow, and it's in shade 203. I've done a review on this foundation a little while ago, and I absolutely love it. Really love it. It's a radiant finish for normal to dry skin, and it's hydrating. It just gives a gorgeous glowy finish to my skin, and it's a good coverage one as well. It's not cakey, it's just really nice. Using a beauty blender, well, it's not a beauty blender, it's a Nancy sponge. I love Nancy. I'm just going to dap that onto my skin. I've just had this in the fridge, so I wet it and then I pop it in the fridge, and it's lovely. Oh, I love it. I've started doing that recently, and it's so nice. It just wakes me up a little bit. It's so cold but so fresh. So I started having acne. Well, I started noticing like blackheads and little white pimples around the age of about 9 or 10. But it's not until I was about 11 years old in high school that I started wearing concealer on my nose, because I was really self-conscious about what my skin looked like. So yeah, so I'd say from about 11 years old, that's when it really started to take effect. No, I've been fortunate enough never to have acne on my cheeks. It's just predominantly been on my T-zone. When I had cystic acne, really horrific boil type acne, where they would cluster all together in big groups. I'd have 3 or 4, 5 maybe, all around here, all around my mouth, around here, and the other side as well. And they would group together, but they were red, sore, red, painful spots without a head. So, and they would last for weeks. Really hard to cover with makeup as well, but I soon learned to perfect that. Lots and lots of layers, but tried every medication under the sun, in and out of doctors from the age of about 17, because I'd had enough by then, and tried pills, tried creams, tried lotions, everything. And the only other thing left for me to try was Roaccutane, which was a strong medication that I'd have to go to hospital to take. I'd have to have blood tests to make sure I wasn't pregnant because it would cause deformities to a baby, and I'd have different other blood tests as well. I didn't want that. I did a ton of research and it scared me. It really scared me. But then I later found out that my cousin tried it and she had really, really bad mental health side effects to it, which I won't go into detail, but it really, really affected her. So I was adamant I never wanted to try that, never wanted to do it. And yeah, I read some horror stories on it as well. But then I've also read really great positive stories. As soon as I had my first child, my hormones packed up completely. And that's when my Pcos symptoms started developing. I haven't got polycystic ovaries, I've just got all the symptoms surrounding it. So I do have period pains, I do have times of the month where I do have pain in my pelvis, but every time I've gone for a scan there hasn't been any cysts there. But I have got all the symptoms, like excess hair on my body where there shouldn't be excess hair for a woman, hair loss around my hairline, and it's repeated. It goes through cycles, so it'll grow to a certain amount and then it'll fall out, grow to a certain amount, fall out. So when I've got my hair down, it constantly looks thin. Also my periods are all over the place, really, really heavy, and they last for ages, and I can have about 2 a month. Which is not good, with only a break in between. It has been bad over the years. Certain pills have helped that, but then it only lasts for a short while and then it goes back to being really, really bad. And acne's been long standing, as I said, 30 years of acne now, 30 years, and nothing got rid of it. So I'm using a Tarte Shape Tape just underneath my eyes and just a bit on top of there, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there, just to brighten up my skin. When I was in my 30s, I'd had enough. My skin was getting worse. How can you get worse the older you're getting? It didn't make no sense. So I started looking into other medications and seeing what other people do, and I noticed a lot of people were taking a medication called spironolactone, which is an androgen blocker which reduces testosterone. It's a heart condition medication. However, it's had amazing results on people that suffer with polycystic ovary syndrome by reducing the testosterone. I read that and it just made complete and utter sense to me. One of the signs you've got polycystic ovary syndrome is the fact that you've got elevated testosterone levels. Now mine were always borderline, but I am a really strange case. My thyroid was borderline, but I had horrific symptoms and I ended up having to go private to have in-depth blood tests taken to actually prove, no, actually you have got a really bad underactive thyroid. It's just a certain test, the NHS test, aren't the bigger picture, and they're just showing that you're just borderline. Again, when my vitamin B12 hits a certain point, goes say under 200, I have really bad B12 symptoms. Now they won't diagnose me with B12 deficiency because I'm still borderline. So maybe I'm just a borderline person. Maybe when my levels in anything get to borderline and I've got symptoms associated with whatever the blood tests are related to, maybe that's a sign that actually, yeah, I do have a problem. You know, it's a reference range at the end of the day. It's a reference, it's not fact. So maybe I am one of the small percentage of people that is out of that reference range. Anyway, long rant. Wouldn't fold unless I stopped now, so I'm going to stop. That's my concealer done. So next is translucent powder to set my eyes. I'm using Affect translucent powder, just a little bit over there. I'm using a bronzer, L'Oreal Back to Bronze bronzer, and I'm just going to slightly do a little bit of a contour with it because it's like a nice little matte shade. So I was reading more about spironolactone, and it seemed to be like people in America were having it more prescribed over there for acne and polycystic ovary syndrome, and not so much in the UK. I tried for years to ask for spironolactone and I was always turned down. I brought in lots of evidence and everything, and they're saying no, it's for your heart, it's not for acne. I was due to go to Cyprus on holiday about a year later and my back was absolutely covered in acne, and I went to the doctors. We're in full face of makeup, and before I was called in I got a baby wipe, scrubbed off all my makeup, head down low, went into the doctors and said, look, this is what I look like without makeup. Up until then, he'd never seen me without makeup on. He saw pictures then I'd taken previously, and I even used to get spots around my eyes, all in my hairline, my eyebrows, everything. I said, this is my face without makeup on, and my back and everything. I said, look, I am desperate. I'm going on holiday and I want to feel and look nice, and I need, you know, I need something to help me, and I think spironolactone will help me. So he referred me to a dermatologist. And because of the severity of my skin, I was seen quite quickly, which is really nice, really fortunate, because there did tend to be a bit of a waiting list. I went to see this dermatologist, and he was from away, and he was coming down just doing like the odd clinic around the area just to help out. I went there with a ton of information about spironolactone, and I didn't even have to show it to him. He says, how can I help you? And he says, right, okay, I've seen from the photos, your GP has sent you and everything. I understand that you're suffering from adult acne. And he says, well, what can I do for you? Have you got any ideas of what you would like or what you'd want to try or anything like that? So I thought, oh, this is a bit refreshing. So I said, yeah. I said, spironolactone. And he goes, oh. And then he said, can you tell me why? And then I reeled off all the information and all the research I'd done and everything. And he goes, you've obviously done your research on it. And he says, I have heard that it can work with some women, especially older women with acne, and it is not patented as a acne treatment, blah, blah, blah. But he says, I will prescribe it for you and see if it will work. And I burst into tears. I was absolutely ecstatic. I wanted this medication for so long. I get emotional now. So from then on, my GP prescribed it to me. I started off with 50 micrograms a day, and then I'm now up to, I did go up to 200, but I've now reduced down to 100 because I want to see how my periods regulate, because, and obviously I wanted to see when my spots coming back and everything, and I'm fine. So I'm down to 100 now, and I've been down to 100 for a little while. I'm using a new product by C.Y.O. It's Bronzing and Illuminating Compact, using a big fluffy brush. I'm just going over the tops of where I've just applied the bronzer, just at the tops of my cheeks there. So it's got a very slight shimmer in it, very slight. So yeah, so my doctor then prescribed me the medication, no problems. I was told that it can take up to about 9 months for me to see a difference, and sometimes it can cause adverse reactions, and they give me a whole list of things to look out for, to watch out for. And yeah, they said I might put on weight, which was not a good thing because I'm already a couple of stone overweight. But yeah, in actual fact, I lost 10 pounds. I'd say within about 6 weeks, I'd lost 10 pounds without dieting. And it just stayed off. So it's a diuretic. Spironolactone is a diuretic. It's to thin the blood, and I have to have my kidneys tested. I have to have blood tests regularly just to make sure that my potassium levels are okay. They've been fine for the last 3 years, no problems. So I have to drink a heck of a lot of water a day just to make sure that I keep going, I'm all right and everything. So it's not an easy drug. You know, I don't just pop a pill and that's it. There is some monitoring, there is some maintenance, there's stuff to do. But yeah, I'd say it is disheartening at first when it wasn't working, or not, it was working, but I couldn't see results. And I'm talking results after about 6 months. But then I'd say from about 6 to 8 months, things started to change. And yeah, I was really, really impressed. At the start, it was my body hair that I noticed. So like my underarm hair, my pubic hair, hair on my belly, hair on my legs and everything. It just didn't seem that thick, and it didn't seem like it was growing back as fast. Then I noticed my acne changing, my skin wasn't as greasy, and yeah, I just started to slowly see changes. My back acne went. I was still left with quite a bit of spots around my chins, but generally it was okay. And then I'd say after about, say, 10, 11 months, periods normal, no acne on my face whatsoever. I was hardly shaving my body hair and getting rid of the hair. And yeah, it was amazing, absolutely amazing. I've noticed no difference in my hair, no difference whatsoever, unfortunately. That's still very thin, it's still shredding every couple of months. But yeah, as far as the polycystic ovary syndrome symptoms are, generally I'd say 80% of them stopped, are gone. So I am super chat. Oh, I forgot to say, I'm using blusher California by Benefit, and it's the gorgeous peachy colour one. So just a pop of colour on my cheeks. Using a bit of a highlighter, going back to my favourite, it's L'Oreal La Vie en Glow. It looks a bit of a mess because one of the pans is broken, but I tend to use that one and that one together, but it's broken, so I'm just using a little Morphe brush. Apply that to my cheeks. Yeah, it did impact on my life greatly. Really impacted, because I've always been into beauty and makeup. It has stopped me doing things. Well, it hasn't stopped me doing things. It's my mind, my mental health, my self-confidence has stopped me doing it. So I do, you know, it's my own responsibility, and it's how it's made me feel. I didn't cope with my skin issues that well. I was constantly being told I had bad skin. I was constantly being told, you know, that I was ugly by people in school. It's hard, it is hard. Even in college, people saying, ugh, you've got blackheads in your ears. And oh, it made me so embarrassed. So next is my eyebrows. So I'm using Benefit Goof Proof in shade 3. Makeup and hairdressing were my main focuses growing up. Huge focuses. And I went on to doing a makeup course. There was a year certificate course running near me. So I did that and I loved it. So the aim was to do that and then become a mobile, get insurance and everything, and become a mobile makeup artist, do weddings, balls and things like that. And then to get enough of a portfolio running and to get more experience, and then eventually move to a bigger city to do like a diploma in makeup. So then I'd have a full, you know, proper do fashion makeup and everything like that. I fell pregnant, I had a baby. My makeup career as such was put on a back burner. I was doing balls and I was doing, you know, I was doing weddings and everything like that, but not much then, not much. Using C.Y.O Brow and Lash Gel, which I don't particularly like. It's a recent product, I just think it's useless in all honesty, but I haven't got one. But it does give a little bit of a hold, but not much. I prefer lip coat, or brow coat by Lip Coat, and that's a clear eyebrow gel. I just find that's brilliant. I'm on to my base colour now for my eyeshadow, and this is an item a few of you have recommended to me, and I had a complete shock when it arrived at how tiny it is. Look how small that is. The size of my eye. It is so small. It's Wet n Wild, and it's an single eyeshadow in Creme Brulee. So I had a little baby boy when I was 22. He's now nearly 20 and he's gorgeous. I would say that. But yeah, he's, yeah, so I still wanted to do makeup, really wanted to do it. Still had dreams of doing it somehow. Next, using my Urban Decay Born to Run palette, which I absolutely adore. I've done a tutorial on this as well. I'll link that down below. I'm using a colour called Weekender. So this will be my matte sort of transition shade. So when these department stores started coming in, I thought, oh my gosh, perfect opportunity. I had a qualification in makeup. I had a portfolio of all like makeup looks and stuff I've done over the years on my friends and people for their courses as well. So I had something to prove that I could work on a beauty counter if they wanted me, that is. So I was umming and ahhing whether to go for it. I would have had a little bit of help with my son. So I thought, oh, this would be perfect. But I bottled. And the reason I bottled was my skin. It was because I didn't want people, or I thought people wouldn't want to see me looking the way I did, being a face of a beauty counter brand like Estee Lauder, Clinique, Urban Decay, or well, not back then, but I thought they wouldn't want me to be the face of the brand and selling the products, even though, yeah, my makeup was always immaculate, my hair was always immaculate, you know, I looked immaculate, or I could look immaculate, I should say, if I wanted to. But is my face. Yes, I would apply a ton of makeup to my face, cover up my spots, no problem. But close up and under harsh lighting, you can see all the lumps and bumps, especially if I turn to a side, you would have been seeing all this disfiguring acne all over my face. So this is what I thought, this is what was in my mind. Now I know that it shouldn't have impacted on my chances of getting a job. I don't know, maybe the industry is fickle and it might have done, but I would have hoped that they would have seen what I was able to do, seen my personality and everything, and that would have shined through and got me a job. But I didn't even go for interviews. I lost out. So that was the last then of my makeup dreams. I just thought, right, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't even fall back into some beauty therapy, which I had qualified in certain areas, because I just thought, no, people aren't going to want me to do their face, not want to be, you know, do their facials or anything like that. I just really terrible. It really affected my self-esteem, my confidence, and yeah. So using a Zoeva 228, I'm going to go in with a Wonderlust colour, which is here. Apply that along my crease like a rainbow, back and forth, back and forth. Just remember a couple of years ago even that I would hate the summertime, going on the school run in summertime, because it meant everyone is out and, you know, people don't wear hoods in the summer unless it's obviously pouring down with rain. But it meant that my face was completely on show. Daylight, my face would be so clear to see. Even though lots of makeup, you would still see the lumps and bumps and everything like that. So I would absolutely hate going to pick up my kids from school and people stopping to chat to me. Now, I'm a really chatty person. I'm not quiet, but I am a little bit shy, I think. But I will talk to anybody. Once I start going, I will talk to anybody. But I couldn't bear it. It was really embarrassing. When my skin was fine, it wasn't as flared up, confident me would be out and I'd be okay, but generally not so confident me would be stuck inside, and I would hate to leave the house to pick up the kids in daylight because people will come and chat, you know, the mums and stuff. So no, I didn't like it at all. But then winter time, it's like, yes. Now I don't like winter. I do like winter to a certain degree, but weather-wise in Wales and the UK, it's not that great. It's grey, it's cloudy and it's cold. But it meant people didn't have time to chat outside the school. They were just going in and out, picking up the kids, and that is it. It might be a quick hi, but that was it. So for me, it was like, yeah, you know, my self-esteem wasn't affected as much. And that was only a couple of years ago, which is so silly, really silly. I'm taking Radio, which is a little bit darker. It's like a dark green. Swirling that round, mainly concentrating just in my crease. I was never diagnosed with this, but it is something that has crossed my mind over the years that I might have had. And I believe I had a form of body dysmorphia, which is a really serious, debilitating mental health problem. And I don't want to come across as, oh yeah, I've got this, I got that, whatever. But I used to work in mental health. I was a psychiatric nursing assistant for a couple of years, and I've studied psychology as well at degree level. So I'm interested in the clinical side. So it is something I've looked up a lot, and I've read up a lot of research and stuff. And I do believe I had it. To an extent anyway. It affected my life so much that it impacted on my daily life. So going a little bit different, I'm going to use a Stila, and this is the Shimmer and Glow Liquid Eyeshadow in shade Pigalle. I'm not too sure, but that's what it is. So it's a gorgeous metallic-y burgundy colour. So I'm going to apply it with a brush. So I'm pulling it out and using just a little brush. This is a detail shader 237 from Zoeva. So I'm just going to paint it on like this and apply it to my lids all across the centre there. The reason I believe that I had a form of body dysmorphia is because I started to view my face as a blank canvas, and literally a blank canvas. I believed that without makeup on, I didn't have any features. It sounds bonkers, but that is how I felt. I just felt that I had nothing, because I think it was because I was so used to wearing makeup, and a ton of makeup from such a young age, that whenever I didn't wear makeup, I didn't look like I had enough features. My eyes didn't stand out. I didn't have a mouth that stood out. I didn't have a nose that stood out. When I was looking at myself in the mirror, I would just see like a blankness. Yes, I saw eyes and a nose and a mouth, but it just seemed really bland and boring. But it affected me so much that when I started having boyfriends and everything, I wouldn't let them see me without makeup, because I'd be terrified that they would see me as like this blank, boring face and get really shocked that I've got no features as such that stand out. And I really truly believed that. It was like I was a painting to be painted, and once I had my face on, I was able to get on and do some studying. I was able to be a good mum. I was able to, not that I would be a bad mum without makeup on, but it gave me the push then to get up and do things, to go out, to meet people, to be sociable and socialise and things. Without makeup, and no makeup me would be stuck in my room on my own, not wanting to see anyone, not wanting to do anything, just watching telly, which is bad, really bad. And I felt like that up until my acne went away. Well, because I've had it for 30 years, so it's something that's been on my body, this negative thing on my face that people can see every single day of my life for 30 years. You know, I'm 42. I do appreciate that there's going to be people out there saying, oh well, having acne is nothing, you know, it's just a few spots. You know, there's worse people out there, they haven't, you know, they've lost their eyesight, they've got facial disfigurements and things like that. I completely understand where you're coming from, but I just wanted to be open with you and to tell you my story. And when it's something that's happening to you, that's all you can focus on. You don't think about worse people off than you. You become so self-centered and so self-occupied with the negativity of what you've got and everything. It just completely absorbs you, and yeah, you become completely self-centered. I think because I had it for such a long time, it's almost like I'm on this sort of holiday period now, where it's like, yeah, hey, look at me, I started a YouTube channel, I'm showing you all my bare skin when I do makeup tutorials and things. But I can't honestly tell you, if I had to stop the medication tomorrow and all the acne came back, I can't say whether I'd be the same person as what you see before you. I don't know, because I don't want to put an act on, and that is not me. Now anyway, I don't want to. So using a Zoeva Petite Luxe crease, 231, going in with a darker green, just going back over the crease, just to blend the Stila makeup in. Going back to the brush, which I used the Wonderlust, not applying any more eyeshadow on, I'm just going to buff that out a little bit more up here. Well, after I noticed my symptoms disappearing with a spironolactone, my body image or my facial image issues did not disappear overnight. I did a lot of work on myself. It was around the time I was doing my counselling degree, so I think that was a perfect time for me to actually learn about everything. Only recently, I'd say in the last year of doing YouTube, that I have felt more comfortable with who I am or what I look like without makeup. I still would not go outside with makeup on. I'm just using the Wet n Wild, the Creme Brulee, just to brighten my under eyes up before I go in with my eyebrow pencil to tighten that up underneath there. Using Accentuate on the palette, just tiny bit on the brush, and just bringing that colour right at the top there. Then using a brand new C.Y.O, and it's a cold gel eyeliner, and it's on Setting Our Sight, so this is a gorgeous like peacock greeny colour. I'm going to apply that underneath my eyes, on my rims of my eyelids, but also smudging it out onto the lash line as well. Pretty colour. Oh, I love it. Bit of of wacky makeup today. I don't know why I've decided to go for these, just don't know. So next thing is Inner Corner highlights. Stranded on the Born to Run palette is at the top there. It's gorgeous gold colour. I'm just using a Luxe Pencil 230 Zoeva. I'm just popping that in the corners there. Slightly in, slightly up. I'm using Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, the travel version we had in August ASOS box. So for lipstick, I'm just going to use NYX Intense Butter Gloss in Trace Lachaise. It's like a pinky nude. To finish it off, I'm using MAC's Prep and Prime, and it's in Gold Lit, and this has got like little gold particles in it. I love this mirror for fanning. Ooh, it's nice. So that's my makeup all done, and I'm just going to pop off now and put my eyelashes on, and then I'll come back to you. Yeah, no, I'm really chuffed with the makeup I've done today. Even though I didn't have a clue what I was doing, I just wanted to use that steeler. And it just gives a different element to your eyes using that. It's quite easy to apply, and I wanted to go for a bit more of a funky bluey green colour. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little get ready with me, doing my makeup, using some new products, but also a talk about my skin and what having acne for 30 odd years is meant to be and how it's impacted on my life. So yeah, it did impact me. It caused me a lot of heartache. It altered my personality, but I've come round the other way now, where I am definitely more self-aware, but I'm on medication, and as I said in the video, if I came off the medication tomorrow and all my acne and my hairy bodiness and everything came back, how would I feel? I can't honestly answer that. But all I know is that it's given me a lease of life, a chance to be free with who I am and not care what I look like. And if you say that I'm ugly, then that's fine. It's not going to affect me anymore. This is a very long-winded video, but I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, give me a like, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel for lots more videos to come. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.